Okay, you can start. Now we are live.
Okay. Happy Friday afternoon and happy Friday early evening, depending on where you are joining us. But we thank you for joining our annual TetraNation Awards. Tetra, of course, is our national program, and it is National Volunteers Week. So, how fitting that I am joined, myself, Eric Molendyk, the program manager for Tetra, along with our national coordinator, Sylvia Balico, the regional coordinator of the Prairies, Crystal Liechko Johnson, and the regional coordinator for Atlantic Canada, Andrew Jansen. I want to thank all of you for joining us. And this year's Tetra Nation, we did it the American Idol style or Canadian Idol, whichever you prefer. We strictly went on the most votes. And we definitely have had more votes than ever this year. We want to thank everyone who let us submit a project, helped us submit a project. And this is really a showcase and a thank you to our volunteers, because without our volunteers, we wouldn't have Tetra. The clients come up with they share with us what their needs are, but our volunteers help with outreach and communications, and of course, making the customized devices unique to people's needs. And so we're just going to showcase a small sampling of what was done, kind of the top 3 votes of each region. Sylvia, anything that you wanted to add before we show some of the videos?
Well, I just wanted to say this is a great way to end National Volunteer Week. And I just wanted to thank all the volunteers across Canada, because each device they make makes a huge difference in a person's life. So if you need a device, you can go to our website, which is tetrasociety.org, so TETRA.org, and you can push the request for assistance button, and you can submit your request to have a device built by one of our special volunteers.
And speaking of volunteering, if you do watch this and think I can help out, but I'm not technical, there's still options to help. There's all kinds of ways that people can get involved. So, and you can meet with any one of the coordinators in the region, and if you're interested in volunteering or submitting a request, please go ahead and do so. So without further ado, we'll go to kind of the top votes in each region. We just thought we'd go geographical, so we'll start here in the Pacific region, and these were projects that were done in the Lower Mainland out of Vancouver. So I'm going to share my screen. Now, if you can't hear me, if I forget to turn the audio on or you want me to replay a video, just let me know in the chat. So I'm going to go to screen sharing. Zoom 101, always make sure you select the sound, right? And then I'm going to share my screen. There we go. There are our video links. So this is the first video. I'll go full screen. So this was a vehicle transfer board.
The client found she was unable to transfer from her wheelchair to newer model cars, as the seats are set further back from the doors due to the increased thickness of doors.
And thank you to Doug Doherty, who did the voiceover. So that video tied for second. We'll go on to the next one. All right. We'll put that in full screen. Everybody seeing and hearing so far?
The client loves music, but because of muscle weakness is unable to hold his guitar in his arms. He needed a table made allowing him to place the guitar over his lap.
And what we really want to showcase today is that Tetra can be about fun. Sylvia always reminds me that Tetra is for all aspects of daily living. Let's get out there and have fun. And the fellow playing the guitar, I've seen him play on stage. So believe it or not, that guitar project, he learned how to play guitar through Guitar Hero. So when your parents told you video games were bad, well, he learned playing guitar through Guitar Hero, and now he performs on stage, and that guitar table makes all the difference. So those two videos that we saw, the vehicle transfer and the guitar table, they tied for second. This was our clear-cut winner in the Pacific region. I want to thank Marco Pasqua and his entire family for helping put this video together. And when people ask me how have the requests changed over the years, the two main things that stick out is ways to connect to technology, and then we're really proud to say that we have seen more requests for parents and to be able to play and take care of their children. So that's, and here's an example of a modified crib. And again, thank you to the Pasqua family for helping share their story and put this together.
Well, you can see here that we have the crib, and thanks to the Tetra Society, this is actually at lap height for me. So I'm able to easily open up these bifold doors that they designed for us, and take a look at Stella. See how nice she is. How nice and smiley she is.
There's that smile. I love that you can pull right underneath it.
Yeah, why don't you come a little bit closer just to see exactly what the height looks like. So you can see that my knees, they're not bashing into it. It's actually right at the height of my wheelchair. They asked me in advance what the height would be ideally for myself. And you can see that in the mornings, I can come here, I can play with her. She can look Dad right in the eyes and smile when we're playing.
So I have to say that's a great video. That was our winner of the Pacific region. And no wonder it won. When you have such an adorable baby, how can you not be the winner of that region? I'm going to stop sharing for a moment because that was the recap of the Pacific region. I have to say, I see Marco has joined us kind of in our virtual audience. So I just want to say a hello. And Marco, if you wouldn't mind, is the crib still working, still being used?
100%. It is still working. It is still being used. We absolutely love it. Stella, in that video, she was probably 4 or 5 months old. She's now 13 months old. So she's running around now, but she still uses the crib. The only thing we've done in addition is we've actually added some foam padding around the legs, just for any sharp metal objects from basically the reinforcements at the legs. I didn't want her to trip and fall and hit her head on there or anything like that. So we added some easy foam, got it from Home Depot. It was nice. We've you already knew this, Eric, but we added under crib lighting so that I can turn it on with my voice, say turn on crib lights, and it creates this underglow effect. And we're actually hoping that in the future we can convert the crib into a toddler bed that has a little play area. So that area for my knees will actually become a little play center with like curtains that she can have, that she can play pretend and whatnot. So this thing is going to keep us going for years to come. And every single person I've talked to, and I've gotten a lot of media attention for it on the radio and on television, they say, why is this not a design that is done by default for all cribs, including those who are standing, because it's way less wrenching on your back to not have to lean all the way down. And for my wife, in the middle of the night when Stella is crying, she can actually just reach in and put a soother in her mouth, as well as talk to her directly face to face with those doors. Whereas in a typical crib, she wouldn't be able to do that, talk to her face to face, rub her back, that kind of thing to console her. And right now, that since she's teething, it is the biggest lifesaver you could ever imagine. So I'm so thrilled that this project won on the Pacific West Coast, and the volunteer team deserves every single bit of praise and kudos. And thank you to you for being so great throughout the entire process as well.
Well, thanks for sharing your story, and it perfectly tied into what I was talking about more projects for technology and to help parent. And here you are using Google Home to make your own kind of lit up bedroom, and I've seen Stella's old enough now she can actually push you around and give you a ride a little bit.
She has been. It's been the cutest thing ever to actually see individuals in the community watch my daughter, who's just turned, just over 1. She actually wants to help dad. So when I say help daddy, she actually comes up behind me and starts pushing me from behind. If I have a coffee in my hand and I am not able to maneuver myself, she actually knows how to help me. And as you know, my day job is as an accessibility consultant. So Karen and I actually bring her on some job sites with us, and people think it's the most adorable thing ever when we roll up with the stroller and my chair, and Stella knows where the accessible buttons are to push, and she knows which ones to push. So it really is an educational opportunity, not only in our home, but out in the community as well, thanks to projects like this. So it is truly life-changing.
Well, thanks so much for telling your story. Enjoy the rest of the videos, and wishing you and your family all the best.
Thank you, sir.
All right. So we're going to move in through the prairies. So I'm going to reach out to Crystal. Now, you have, there was some top 3 projects in your area, and the first one I have here is a modified piano pedal. So Crystal, I don't know if you want to talk about the projects as we head into it, or talk about them after I play them all. Which would you prefer?
I think after you play them, Eric.
All right, that sounds good to me. So that means then I'm going to go back into screen sharing, and I got the sound still selected, so that's good. Screen share, and as you can see, hopefully you can see the title. It says Remote Controlled Piano Pedal Pusher. I know the chapter worked on this for a while, and it sounds like a great solution. So without further ado, this is one of the top 3 winning projects for the Prairie region of this year's TetraNation.
Client's disability is paraplegia T6, a powered solenoid device with a mouth switch for actioning the damper pedal of a piano was created by the volunteer.
And what I like about this project too is it shows some of the design concepts and the effort that goes into with the amazing drawings, and you can really see how they put that together. And can't stress this enough. What we loved about this year's TetraNation is it shows for all aspects of daily living. And again, to quote Sylvia, we're about fun. It could be something serious, but it could be about fun. And speaking about fun, that leads into our next project, which came from Regina. So we'll play this video.
The client has severe cerebral palsy and as a result struggles with her balance and cannot ride a bike or sled. The Tetra volunteer came up with a 3-in-1 unit that switches between stroller, bicycle trailer, and sled functions so it would have year-round use, which can hold the client's detachable wheelchair seat for comfort. It is designed to allow for her growth.
Truly a definition of growing with Tetra, I think. So thank you for letting that project be submitted. And then we'll go to the winning project, for which I think was out of Lethbridge, if I'm not mistaken. This was the winning project with the most votes. And this project gives me hope. I keep telling myself summer is coming. Summer is coming. It was a really cold April. If you're watching across the country, you're going to say those in BC are wimps. I admit that we are, but summer is coming, and that means swimming. And here is the winning project for the Prairie region, an adaptive swim device.
The client loves to swim. However, she has a tracheostomy. The client just underwent scoliosis surgery, and water therapy will help recovery greatly. So the urgency to get her back into a swim solution was a priority. The volunteer purchased a swimwear sun seat and a swimming suit. A hole was cut in the sun seat, and the swimsuit was cut in half to attach to the sun seat. It also has a backrest so that she can have support if she rested her head while swimming.
I just want to give full credit to Doug Doherty there, who did that video, having to say all those S's. He pulled that off better than I would have been able to. So I'm going to stop screen sharing so we can chat a little bit with Crystal, and she can share kind of background on some of those stories.
Thanks, Eric. Yeah, I just want to give a huge shout out to our volunteers for all of the projects that were featured in the Prairies, from our first place swim device to the second place, the little sled stroller that you saw, and the third place, the piano pedal, just to push down on the piano pedal by blowing. All of the volunteers used really innovative designs and worked really closely with the clients. For a couple of cases, there was for their children. But yeah, just really working together and solving problems that the families had that they thought they wouldn't be able to find a solution to. So I just want to give a huge shout out to those, and thanks to all our volunteers, and thanks to everyone who voted.
And one thing I wanted to mention, you told me recently, and I don't know if he's going to see this video, but Jerry Wartuck, who's been involved with the Regina chapter for a long time, he's going to retire from Tetra, and he's been involved with lots of projects. And we just want to, I got a chance to meet Jerry in person, and he's a great guy. And just wanted to say, as he heads off into retirement from Tetra, we'll always remember his contributions. He was part of the modified stroller sled that we just saw, and he's done some great projects. So we're really happy to thank him during our National Volunteers Week.
Yes, thank you, Eric. Yeah, he's been with Tetra since 2006, I think. So we are sorry to see him go.
But his contribution will never be forgotten. So thank you, Crystal, and thanks to all the coordinators as well. And I should mention, for the winning, the volunteers of the chapter where the project came from, it's going to be a chance to get together and hopefully celebrate later in the year, perhaps in person. So stay tuned for more details on that. A chance to have a lunch, and then so we're going to keep moving across the country to Sylvia, who wears multiple hats. She is, as I mentioned, the national coordinator, keeps us all in line as a whole, but also oversees the central region. And Sylvia, your chapters in the central region is as busy as ever. And so now we're going to showcase the top 3 vote getters from your region. And I'll ask you to speak about them after. So back to the great screen sharing. One thing I like is, as long as you remember to select the sound at the beginning, it stays on. And so here we go. And we're right back to where we left off. And this is the Google apartment.
Hi there, I'm Jamie Porter, and I'm a Tetra client. And with Tetra, I've been able to automate my entire apartment. You can also turn on the fan and off the fan.
Hey Google, turn on Noma.
I can also open my door. Okay, Google, turn on Porter.
And again, that's just great examples of how technology and our volunteers and coordinators have worked together. We'll go to the next project in the central region. This one is out of Peel.
The client is unable to sit, stand, or crawl independently. He is a bright child with function of his hands and arms. His family wanted a ride-on power car for the client to be able to activate and move around. Peel Region volunteer Ali took on the project and was able to secure a donation from the Shriners to purchase the car. Ali then modified the car with a joystick in place of the steering wheel and accelerator. Ali installed a modified seat and safety harness to allow the client to sit up properly and safely. The client was able to play outside with his brother and cousins for the first time.
Again, you can never go wrong when you have smiling kids in projects. And then our next one, and this is the winning project for the region. Very impressive here. I'll get Sylvia to talk about it after. The modified all-terrain vehicle.
Volunteers in Guelph seriously modified an ATV by automating the wheelchair ramp, modifying the controls, installing a wheelchair locking system, modifying the steering, modifying the gas and brakes, making the roll cage taller. Now we are moving forward to a better future.
And I'll just pause there and stop screen sharing momentarily. So Sylvia, quite a collection of projects. And that last project, I know you were super excited about, and all of them were quite amazing. But the one in Guelph, you're like, I can't believe the volunteers pulled that off.
That's right, Eric. All three projects actually are pretty amazing. The first one we saw of the home automation of the apartment or the home, we really didn't capture everything in that small video. The volunteer went in to automate the front door by voice control, and then just kept going and automated the TV, automated the fan, automated lights, and just kept going in the apartment. So it's completely voice activated, completely electronic, which is just amazing. And this volunteer also helps around Ontario with different automation projects. So it's a really good project. The second project in Peel for me is very important because it was a three-way community partnership. We had the Shriners donate the car. We had Erin Oak Kids not only give us the client, but the occupational therapists also participated in the design of the seat for the child and the harness to ensure the child will be safe. The Tetra volunteer took out the steering wheel, he took out the gas pedal, the brake pedal, the seat, and he put everything into that box control as the child could only move his right hand. And he has never moved on his own accord in his entire life. So at 6 years old, to see him get into something that he can not only move in, but play with his brother on the driveway is just amazing. That really gets my heart every time. And the winner, of course, the ultimate favor we never thought would get done. The client transported this Argo ATV up to Guelph. These three volunteers who are also friends, they joined Tetra at different times, but all three of them are on board now. And they attached the ramp, made it completely automatic with the button. Once the client gets into the Argo ATV, there's a locking system for his wheelchair on the floor so that he is not going to move. They took out all the controls and made them switches. And then for the gas and the brakes, they made two hand controls. So this quadriplegic now can go anywhere on his farm and just tear up. To me, he looks like a big kid with a smile, and that's just the best reward you can get. So congratulations, not only to the volunteers and the chapters, but also to the clients for getting greater independence. It's I love this contest.
Yeah, and those projects, it was a great example. You can have independence in your home, or again, out playing. And the ATV, you're right, he does look like a big kid, able to drive away there, but safely. And you know, it's an amazing thing when the community and volunteers come together to create something that somebody thought, you know, only lived in their dreams or only lived in their mind, and then help make that a reality. And so never stop being amazed by what the volunteers come up with, for sure. So thank you, Sylvia, for sharing the backstory there. And then we're off to Atlantic Canada. And Andrew, I want to say thank you, because of course it's Friday evening where you are, and you could be doing anything in a Friday night, but you've taken the time to join us here and celebrate the volunteers. So I'm going to play the 3 videos for your region, and then we'll check in with you after they play. So I'm going to screen share one more time. All right. And we're going to go to the videos, full screen. And again, we're starting with the 2 in the Atlantic Canada, they tied for second. So they had an equal amount of votes. So these are 2 second place finishes, and then we'll show the winner. But these are winning projects from Atlantic Canada.
Client requires 3-position jaw contact with 3 small neck plate switches for computer access to be used in combination with eye gaze access. A custom crown and headband with chin strap to attach pivoting stable U-arm which holds 3 removable neck plate switches so they can independently access their computer.
And that is certainly something everybody wants to do more of, especially during the pandemic. We saw the desire to need to be able to connect on computers. And it's amazing to see what can be created and custom made and maximize somebody's ability. On to the next project.
Due to an extremely weak right hand, patient requested a one-handed cutting board for left-handed operation. A suitable board was constructed using existing cutting boards from IKEA, stainless steel rods, and disc magnets. Magnets were used to secure the clamp to the board, and stainless steel spikes were cut and sharpened to hold the food. A plastic corner was cut to form the bread holder and screwed into the main cutting board. The board was tested by the client and pronounced perfect.
Or some may say a cut above. You knew I was going to get corny at some point. Can't help it, but great to see. And again, different use of magnets or what's around. And then the project with the most votes for the Atlantic region, the modified guitar strum.
The client is in his mid-40s. He had a stroke and his right side is paralyzed. He was an avid guitar player, but can't strum with his right hand after the stroke. His therapist saw the NTV news story about a similar project Tetra did and thought it was suitable for the client. Since we already had the design, it was a matter of adjusting the design for his needs. When the completed project was delivered, both him and his wife were in tears. They never thought they would hear him playing guitar again.
Well, that's an absolutely great project, and I couldn't think of a better way to showcase all the winners, and kind of sweet music brings our project showcase to a close. But I'll turn it over to you, Andrew, just to update us what's going on in the Atlantic region. Things are booming and lots of projects are happening, and any backstory or anything you wanted to share about the projects we just saw.
Yeah, really big thank you to all the volunteers who are involved in all the projects here. Halifax and has been especially active, 2 projects represented here. The first one that was showed is a computer access with switches, but the client was also looking to combine it with eye gaze. So that was an interesting project that we got to be a part of with them. And the Crown Nexus was a name that the client and volunteer came up with together that really just made it their own and something that they could really feel like proud using. And having a crown, it was kind of a little bit of a creative outlet for them too. It was really a really interesting project and great to see the volunteers and clients come together on. The one-handed cutting board is, I think, a really great one. With access to food is such an important thing, and being able to do that in the way that somebody wanted. They were looking for something that didn't have latex in it and just could not find any. There existed latex ones for cutting boards that were one-handed, but nothing that was latex free. So making something out of wood is something our volunteers often do, and easy enough to make a cutting board like that. So it was a simple solution in some ways, but such an important one. And we do a lot of music projects, and it's such a wonderful thing to be able to see people play music with Tetra devices and be able to do something that they just love like that. Just listening to the client that video, like that's him playing, that's real. So yeah, just a really big thank you to everyone involved in the Atlantic region out here.
Thank you, Andrew, for that overview. And I was going to say, you have a fairly new coordinator in Fredericton, and you have some
Yes.
brand new faces. So if people are watching and think, I'd love to connect with coordinators in your region, you have some really keen people that are there to help out. Did you just want to tell us who people could contact?
Yes, the contact information for the Fredericton and Halifax chapters are both, it's just Fredericton NB at tetrasociety.org or Halifax NS at tetrasociety.org. And those go to our new chapter coordinators in those regions. And Heather is the person we have in Fredericton. And Steve is our new chapter coordinator in Halifax here. So we're excited to have them on board and helping us with activities here. And yeah, I'm excited to see what comes next.
And thank you, Andrew, for all the work that you're doing. And in just talking to you now, I can see that you have your own customized devices, and you've helped come up with concepts and ideas. And I know that there's going to be some exciting projects that will probably be showcased in next year's TetraNation. So,
oh, I'm sure.
Yeah. So I want to thank everybody for joining me. Most of all, I want to thank all of our volunteers, of course, again, as we bring National Volunteers Week to a close, but also to all of our viewers. We had the most votes ever. I think we had like a 30% increase, if not more, in our total votes. So thank you for your participation, and we will do our best to continue to make customized devices with the help of volunteers, of course, and keep coming up with content that hopefully you find enjoyable to check out on our YouTube channel as part of ConnecTogether. So thank you. However you're watching, again, this will be up on YouTube if you didn't catch us live, but can't thank the volunteers enough, and thank you for taking time to join us today. It's truly a pleasure.
Thanks, Eric.
All right, thank you, Marco, and have a great weekend, everybody.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.